We covered different topics in the Step Up Circle. So now we are starting our new batches on SAP SD, SAP MM, SAP PP, SAP FICO. We are starting the new batches. So I thought of doing one session, which I thought is important from everyone, because all of the people who join these trainings, one of their motive is to upskill their career, to start their career in SAP, or maybe within SAP to upskill their career. So, upskilling a career, people are able to do it easily. Once you are into the stream, getting into a stream, flowing into the stream is easy. But to get yourself in the stream is difficult. That's where I feel that the people who want to start their career journey in SAP, there are thousands, not in the thousands, it can be the lakhs of people who started the SAP trainings, doing from multiple places, going to the SAP education centers, going into the multiple different places in Hyderabad and all around the world. But everybody is not able to start their career journey in SAP, right? So I thought that that would be the important topic. I have whatever we have done from in SastraGeek Solutions comes from some background. Okay, I started my career journey in SAP. Many of you people would already be knowing me because you have already enrolled in the courses. Okay, but there would be few people who would be having a first time interaction with me. So just to explain them, I am Parminder. I am the founder of SastraGeek Solution. I carry around 18 years of SAP experience, and I carry 4 years of functional experience into the operations. So when I started my career journey to SAP, it took me around 3 years of time, and I did education. I did my education from SAP education from 3 different institutes, including SAP Authorized Institute, which charged 4 lakh rupees at that time. Around 20 years ago, they were charging 4 lakh rupees. I did the training from them, and then I was not able to get a job. Then I did training for one of the institute. Then finally, I did the training from one of the third institute. And this whole process took me 3 years, and I spent nearly buying a laptop, installing SAP in it, and then spending money into this standard SAP, doing certifications. Almost 5 lakh rupees I burned 20 years ago. Okay, so not everybody is able to burn that money. 20 years ago, 5 lakh means almost 20 lakh rupees now, right? But all of the money which I burned, it was fruitful for me because I was able to jump into a job. I was start the career stream, and within a few months, I was able to recover everything what I have spent. But I feel that that not everybody is consistent. Not everybody would be able to pay that high money. Not everybody would be able to pay 3 years. Knowledge sharing was always my passion, right? So later on, when I did into the consulting, within consulting also you need to do a lot of trainings. I enjoyed training the people. And 7 years ago, I started as a freelancer, and 50 to 60% of the time I started giving into the trainings, and the rest of the time into the freelancing projects I started giving it. During this last 7 years also, we have evolved the courses in SastraGeek Solution so that we can understand what is the problem and we address those problems, right? So to do that, I have done many things. I will be explaining when I am doing this 10 mistakes, which people often do it. How come I know people do the 10 mistakes? First thing, I did a lot of mistakes when I was learning SAP. Second thing, till now, I have done more than 2,000 one-to-one career counselings. Okay, I do a free career counseling. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. For the job hustlers, my team would be sharing the link over the chat. If you want to jump into the one-to-one career counseling, you can jump into that. Or I have a lot of time today. When we end the session, if you have any questions related to the career, you can freely ask me at the end of the session. Okay, don't wait for the one-to-one session. But if you want to book a one-to-one session, not one-to-one now, it is 1 to 3 sessions, where 3 people would be joining, and I would be answering their career-related questions. So the link would be coming into the chat. You can follow. You can use that link, and with that link, you would be able to book a session with me. So those 2,000 sessions which I have done, I try to understand कि भैया problem किधर है. Training तो बहुत सारे लोग कर रहे हैं. A lot of people are getting trained, but people are not getting jobs, right? So that is the main thing, that people should get the job. From there, 100 of mistakes people do, but I try to find it out what are the top 10 key problems are there where people fails to start their career. Okay, why people fails to start their career in SAP? That's what I'm going to start today. We are supposed to start our SDMMPP batches from today, but I thought that this is a very important thing, and a lot of people, most of you, around 76 people are there. I think 60 people has been already enrolled in these courses. Okay, but I want to know that, because it is not like that the people who are learning from the other institute do the mistake. People who learns from the SastraGeek, they do the less mistakes, but I always need to remind them, yeah, you stay on the line, you don't do those mistakes, because we want to make sure if you are coming into the SastraGeek, you are going out of the SastraGeek by building your career in SAP. Okay, what all things we need to do it, what all support we need to provide it, I would be explaining you when I am explaining these 10 reasons why people fails into it. Okay, so let's get it started. So with the reason number one, that what is the first reason that why people fail. Before I get it started, I like these sessions to be very interactive. And in webinar mode, it does not mean that we cannot do the interactions, right? We will be doing a lot of interactions through the chat mode. And why the interactions are important? I use a lot of things. I use mind map. I come over the camera. I use my expressions, hands to engage you. I would be using a whiteboard markers. I would be using my pen to draw the things to engage you. Another thing I would be doing, I would be asking the questions to you. Now, take a first note. Whenever you are learning something, right, you would be attending a session. It would be a classroom session. It would be an online session with us, or session with anyone, right? After 10 to 20 minutes, your mind will start diverting and you will not be able to focus on the topic. So there are some mind hacks are there which you need to use it. The mind hacks is there that you can ask a question. Just go and type and ask the question, whether you get the answer or not, but type some question there, right? That will be activating your brain. I also would be pushing some things to you that, okay, this is a question, please answer on the chat window. The idea is you use your fingers on the keyboard, type something, and when you do that act, your mind who is diverting, okay, weekend is coming, girlfriend se milna hai, need to take out the family. A lot of things are there, right? But I want you to focus at least 120 minutes today on this session, right? So to do the focus, the key thing is that I will be asking some questions. Make sure when the question has been asked, use your fingers onto the keyboard and answer on the chat. I don't know answer, sir. You're asking something, I don't know answer. Still you type something. You type at least NI, no idea. मुझे कुछ नहीं पता है. When you put no idea, that also activate your brains to open up and get the idea which I would be sending it to you, right? Now, my first question is to you. I would be telling you that what are the problems, what are the reason why people fails to start career in SAP. What do you think? As per you, what are the things why people are not able to start career in SAP? Quickly over the chat window, not into the question and answers, over the chat window, quickly. We have almost 80 plus people here, and I want answer from each and every single one. If you don't know, put NI. Okay, now I'm getting some answers. No hands-on. In which module you are interested? Okay, people don't know which module they're interested. They don't have a hands-on. They don't have a deeper knowledge. Okay. Lack of hands-on experience, lack of confidence. That's good. Lack of guidance, yes. Lack of consistency. People are not consistent. भैया चालू तो कर लेते हैं, खत्म नहीं करते हैं. Time management, people are not able to manage the time. That's very good, Shrish. I have not put in that point, but I would be highlighting that what is the time related issues. Remind me if I don't talk about the time management. That's important. Yeah, very good, Shrish. Shrisha, sorry. Lack of practice, technical struggle. It is not open source like Java. That's a good thing. It's not like open source like Java. Java has too much of competition, right? So open source is not there. So it means that selective people who really want to do it, they invest it and they get it done. Aditi, no idea. Very good. Not a problem. Not having idea is not a problem. Improper guidance. Lack of material concepts, lack of knowledge. Okay, lack of guidance. Thank you everyone for being so interactive participants. Make sure that in the next full 120 minutes, you become the same interactive participants. I really like your comments which you have put it. I already have one hand raised, which is from Pavan. Pavan, you can down your hand, because I would not be giving you unmute access. I would be giving you unmute access after 90 minutes, not now. In between, if you have a question, please go into the question and answer session. And then I have a lot of time. If you stay for 3 hours, 4 hours, I would be sitting with you to answer your question, because I know that before people enroll, a lot of questions, doubts would be there. And I'm here today to answer all of your questions and doubts. Okay, so let's jump into the first problem. What is the first problem? What is the, and this is what is my analysis in the last 20 years, which I'm putting it in front of you. People are saying that people are not consistent, right? People have a time management issue. What people do, anything you start, and it is not like this for SAP. It is a common human behavior problem. You need to understand that. We start the things very easily. Okay, starting the thing, okay, with a lot of great enthusiasm, we start the things. And then with that great enthusiasm, around 60 to 70 people also drop the things. We start the things with enthusiasm, great enthusiasm, and after some time we drop the things. We are not consistent. Okay, we start and we also quit. That's one of the biggest problem, because when you're starting something, make sure you make sure you also end them. Okay, you also finish them. Okay, so when I started my journey, I took 3 years. I took 3 years of time, right? And I was able to put 3 years. Not everybody is Parminder, right? Not everybody is like me. Not everybody would be that consistent. Now, how to make sure that you are consistent? So to make sure that you are consistent, it's very important that you are motivated throughout the training journey. When you are learning something, you cannot learn something at low level of energy. You need to be really high level of energies. You need to be keep motivated yourself to make sure you learn the things. Okay. Now, how you motivate yourself, how you become consistent, how you would be managing your time. That all the questions you would be having. Sir, ye to pata hai, but ye hoga kaise? Okay. So we put it the structure of the trainings like that so that it supports all of these things. I understand, that there are a lot of things are there. We also have a self-paced trainings. Udemy has a lot of trainings. YouTube have a lot of content, right? So one thing what I understood initially when I started this training journey, and then I was not having a time for a couple of years, we only started running the self-paced video courses. Now there basically we also do a lot of analysis, what content we give, that what content has been consumed and what is the return coming out of it, whether people are able to get some benefit out of the content or not. I found it that, the problem is that if people are only working onto the video based, the discipline is not there. Okay, all the content is there with them. There are few people who would be very good. Give me the video content. They would be sitting for 15 to 20 days or maybe a couple of months going through this, grasping it and converting it. 20% people would be able to do it. 20%. Rest of the people face a problem with the discipline. They feel that they are not that disciplined to make sure that every day they get time out. Okay. So to that thing, when I understand, and I thought that, that the instructor-led sessions are also very important. We do a lot of instructor-led session, and I also started a sessions doing every Sunday evening step-up circuits. The idea behind the step-up circle is to make sure that people come, they join the live session, they get energy out of me from the live session, and they get boosted with the motivation so that they keep on learning the things which they have started. So that is the first thing we started with a lot of instructor-led sessions. Okay, so in these trainings also, what we are giving it to you, it's a blend of video learnings plus instructor-led session. But we make sure that there would be at least 2 instructor-led sessions should be there in a week for a module, which will make you into a discipline. Okay, at these 2 sessions, at least you would be coming it up, you would be listening, and I would be asking, Bhaiya, have you completed your assignment or not? Knock, knock. You are getting behind, knock, knock. Have you completed or not? Whatever we can do from our side, we try to push you. We try to give you assignment. We try to ask you, have you completed or not? Please complete it. that the live sessions, the major reason of the live session is to motivate you, because as soon as you enroll, the full content has been given. All the videos has been given to you. If anybody wants to learn, all the content is there. You can become. But the problem is that time management. Problem is discipline. Problem is motivation. That we try to solve from the instructor-led sessions are basically to put you into the discipline, to put you into the motivational path that you are motivated throughout your career, through your training journey, and you would be able to learn. Another thing I understood, SAP. Boss, I came for the training. 20 days training, you get it trained, tata, bye-bye, nothing else. SAP require a lot of effort than 20 days. I don't know why they came up with this 20 days model. I hate that model. Taking 4 lakh rupees, 20 days of training. 20 days of training is nothing. You need to spend a lot of time. You need a lot of instruction. You need a lot of guidance. A lot of institutes, okay, we are running a batch, 2 months batch, you have been trained, done, tata, bye-bye. You don't get a job in 2 months. If you're switching your career, you need to understand the average time for switching your career, average time, not about SAP, average time is 9 months. SAP is more niche skills, which can take a little bit more time also. I have some people who did it in 1 to 1.5 months. I have some people who take it 1.5 years also. But if you are consistent, you are not leaving, if you keep on doing it, success will come to you. I can sign the paper, a stamp paper with 120% of guarantee. People ask, sir, guarantee kya hai? मैं 120% guarantee दे सकता हूँ. You will get a job. If you complete the content which I have given, if you complete the assignment which has been given, if you complete all the things which has been given to you and you follow the path, there is nothing which can stop you. Believe me. Right? So to give you motivation, the live sessions are there. Apart from that, I also do a lot of success stories. Now, why I do a lot of success stories? Definitely, it is helping SastraGeek to make sure to showcase that, okay, these people are there who got trained from us and then who are getting jobs into the different places. But that is not only the way we started the success story. The main idea for doing the success story is make sure that the people who are getting successful, sharing their knowledge, sharing their experience, that how they have done it, what kind of problem they faced, what kind of struggles they have done, how many interviews they have given. They can share all of the experience with you so that you listen to them and you get motivated. Everything we have included in our bundles. You will see that our full training program has been structured towards the problems which students face. I would be giving you a glimpse of what things we provide. Okay, let me first share the first page, and my team would be sharing the link of these pages. Okay, so when you go to the SastraGeek.com or SastraGeek.teachable.com, the link would be coming. We have a success stories mentioned here. Okay, these are the people, these are the few peoples who agreed to come in front of the camera and they shared their stories. Okay, we have more than 1,000 of the people who got successful, but few of them who said that, okay, we come in front of camera so that other people can get help from our experience. These are the success stories from them. So you need to listen to them. Okay, whenever you are feeling demotivated, listen to Rajesh Sharma, the guy who started his career at the age of 55 plus, not 55, I think 57 plus. He's crossing 60 plus, still he's doing. Today or tomorrow, I'm doing a success story with Mr. Raj, the age of 68, still doing SAP consulting. Okay, a lot of success story, you would be finding it, a lot of success story for single mothers, a lot of success story with the mothers who have taken a break for 2-3 years, then they want to start their career. You will be finding a lot of motivated success stories. And I have also included the success stories in bundle. When you take the bundle access, you would be getting it SAP step-up circles to motivate you. Every Sunday, we try to do one session on generic topic to make sure you are cross-trained into the different topics and you keep on motivated yourself. That is the reason. Okay, then we have a gamified sessions. These gamified sessions are the live sessions on the particular module you have taken. Again, the idea is to keep you into a disciplined track and to keep you motivated. Game of High Flyers video has been given. All of the success stories has put it here so that every week or every month, at least you watch one success story to get yourself motivated, to always tell you, ki, agar this guy can do it, why cannot I do it? If he can do it, I can also do it. he also faces a lot of problems. He also has a lot of struggles. He has a family issues. A lot of things is there. If he can overcome of all of the problems, I can also do it, right? We always think that our problem is bigger, but our problem is many times smaller than the people problem other people have it, and that you will be able to come from these success stories. Everybody has their own problem. Everybody have their own issues. Lack of motivation and time management. Boss, we are not able to manage the time. I ask people, don't quit your job to learn SAP. I never suggest people don't quit the job to learn SAP. To do this 20-25 days of training, a lot of people quit the job कि भैया मुझे तो SAP ही करना है, मैं तो SAP ही करूंगा, SAP में ही जाऊंगा. You follow the path, but don't quit the job. There are the two reasons for it. First reason is your existing job, wherever you are doing, we would be able to convert that experience. We would be able to manipulate that experience to showcase some experience which will help you in your consulting job. First reason. Second reason, when you take a career break, the longer the career break, the difficult it to start again. Okay, so if only the SAP is only the reason, don't quit your job. Do the SAP trainings with your job. Okay, now when you're doing with the job, कि sir time कहाँ से निकालूंगा? From where I will get the time? Now the time management is important. That's why we are doing the live session. At least you come into the live session, you have been booked for it. You will be sitting it in front of, at least you will be getting some learning from the live sessions, right? Second thing is, make sure when you're learning this SAP, don't take it easy. It's not like a very easy cup of tea. You will sit, sip it, drink it, and it's done. SAP is not easy game. Okay, you need to be ready for it. It would be a difficult game. It would be a tough game. If you put efforts, nobody can stop you. So the time management, how you need to do it. Make sure when you have decided that you are going for SAP, okay, you're going for SAP, you will be working in a company. I want you to make sure you give your 8 to 9 dedicated hours for that company who is giving you bread and butter. They are paying to you for the job you are doing. Make sure you do your sincere work for 8 to 9 hours. Many times we ended up work for the company 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours also. That time you need to reduce. When you have thought कि भैया, this is the company I'm working as a production engineer, I'm working as a safety in charge, I'm working as a quality guy, or I'm working in a banking sector, I'm working in the insurance, doing some sales. Okay, restrict your time to the what you have been paid for. 9 hours we are paid for, 8 hours we are paid for. Do your sincere, dedicated job for 8 to 9 hours. If you do it, that's enough. Now, because you want to leave that job and you want to jump into the SAP, rest of the time you spend into the SAP. So that understanding, that mindset is important. Cut short your existing job. I'm not saying that you cut short to 2 hours or 4 hours. They pay you for 9 hours, you work for 9 hours. But beyond 9 hours, you don't work. That time you give it to SAP. Your Saturday and Sundays, it's important for your family, right? But when you're learning, maybe for next 6 months, 9 months, cut short your Saturday and Sunday times from the another activities and start putting it to SAP. Believe me, you are not the only one who are having a time management problem. Everyone has. Even I was also having a time management issues when I was learning it. Okay, so it is you who need to get time, and the life will never give you time. Write it down onto the paper. Life will never give you the time. You will always have to buy the time from the life if you want to do something, right? SAP is the one which you want to do it. You will have to buy the time from your life. Life will never give you. Today, one problem is there. Tomorrow, another problem. Day after tomorrow, another problem. Life will never give you time. You will have to buy the time from life. Buy the time over the chat quickly, everyone. If you understand the concept of consistency, put buy the time. Okay, buy the time over the chat. Everyone, I want to put everyone to put buy the time. You need to buy the time from yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for mentioning. Okay, we jump into the. I know you have a lot of questions, and I guarantee you, I would be answering your every single question. I would be answering. My team would be already answering the questions which you are putting into the question and answer. We believe that when you're coming to this to get your question answered, stay on to till last, and I would be answering each and every question of yours. Second problem, This is also a lot of problem. I see that we need to be expert on SAP module. When I do one-to-one career counseling, I met people and I said that they said that, sir, 3 years ago I started that I want to do I want to learn SAP and I am learning SAP. I am learning a module. I said, okay, have you applied for the jobs? No, sir, I still don't feel confident. I am still not expert. I want to be fully expert onto the topic and then I want to start the job. Boss, I'm making some statement which will be eye-opening statements. I am 20 years into SAP. 20, not 20 years, around, yeah, almost now I can say 20 years. I'm almost into 20 years into SAP, into the different modules. Doing a consulting of different modules, have done more than 8 to 9 end-to-end implementation, done couple of support projects and done a lot of projects where I am involved into the solution architect. I am not even an expert even in a single module of SAP. I'm not having a people was a lot of people were saying that the deep knowledge is required. Deep knowledge is required. What I feel that the deep knowledge is the one which is stopping you to become SAP consultant. Deep knowledge is a problem. You need to understand it does not require deep knowledge. When you want to start your career, SAP, every SAP module is an ocean. Okay, believe me, you pick it up. One guy, I have walked onto the different modules because I want to spread myself. I really like the things and I jump into the other modules also. You will find the people who are working into the 15 years into SAP, one single module as a consultant. They will go for interview. They will also fail sometimes. They also don't know each and everything into the SAP module. Even doing a 10 to 15 years experience also, if they don't know it, and you are thinking that I came here for learning, I want to become an expert of that module. Expertise is always a continuous process. It's not a milestone, it's a continuous process. Expertise is also always a continuous process. So during the process of your learning, then doing a jobs, and then doing a multiple implementations, multiple places, the expertise will come. Okay, but it is not necessary that you want to become an expert on a module and then to start. I want to know each and every module, each and every transaction code of that module, each and every field which is there, what is the logic for it. Believe me, no one knows that. You find it out SAP resources, you ask, open a screen, okay, what is this use of the field? They would not be able, because SAP is ocean. So many business processes has been given. Okay, so many industry specific solutions are there. There are so many things are there which hardly 5 to 7% of the businesses are using. Even working on 20 years, you will never get a chance to work on to those areas. So don't try to become an expert. People try to become an expert, learning, never going for the jobs. You need to have a decent amount of knowledge to start your career in SAP. Not you need to know each and everything. Okay, a decent amount of knowledge is required. Expertise will come on the way. So don't wait for yourself to get expert in the module and go. Okay, whenever you will be doing the training with us, I would be asking you, boss, once your 60% of the training is completed, update your CV and go for the jobs. Go for the jobs. And you say that, okay, एक job, एक interview दे दिया and they have thrashed me like left, right, center. I was not able to answer it. Don't get demotivated by giving the interviews and when you don't get successful. You need not to be successful in each of the interviews. Even I also sometimes fail in the interviews. 3 years, 4 years back, I was giving a interview before I start the SastraGeek Solutions. There was one very good requirement. I thought I should go for it. It was a S4HANA upgrade. A company was going for it. That guy went into the interview and he took a 30 minutes of interview. He was asking something. I was trying to elaborate. No, I want a particular answer. He asked few things also which I even don't know, and I failed the interview. Right? There's no need to success in each and every interview. You will see when you will go to the success stories, you will see that people has given 10 interviews, they get selected in one, and that's where the job has been started. Some people gave 3, 4, they selected in one. Some people gave 12 to 13 interviews started, they got selected in one, and then they started. There are a lot of job opportunity. It is not like that only one interview will come to you. So during the process, the expertise will come. So don't wait to be expert. Believe me, you cannot be an expert in a single module. Okay, expertise, because SAP is changing. How much you will learn? Every year, every quarter, SAP is changing. Every module, some new things are coming. So when you are into this SAP, you are always learning. Okay, your learning path will never finish. So it is not like my learning path will finish. It's not a college or it's not a school. I have done the completion of learning, schooling. I will do the job now. No, it's a continuous learning. It's a continuous learning path. So you need to have a decent amount of information and knowledge to get into a job. That's what you need to quickly complete it. And that's where basically you would start your job hunt. Okay. So deep knowledge, if you have a myth in your brain, if misconception is कि deep knowledge चाहिए तभी job मिलेगा. No. Believe me, you would be learning a lot of things, and then you would be ending up working as a SAP consultant in sourcing and procurement MM area. And when you're working, you're only working on material master. The job has been given you to handle the master data, the material masters. You need to discuss with the with your clients and make sure the data has been collected, and you would be uploading the data. Only that part of work has been given, and that is just a 5% of the training which you have done, and you're just working on to that part. And if they want somebody who is into the material master, who has a good knowledge, believe me, there are some modules like PP module, MM module. People are very strong into the master data they know, and they become consultant with that knowledge also. Okay. So becoming an expert is not requirement. It's not required. Decent knowledge, clear basics are required, not the deep knowledge. Right learning path and approach. The third people is people don't go for the right learning path or approach. Now, whatever the path and approach, I followed it. I find it out it was a wrong. Okay. A lot of people you would be following. Some people also get success from it. But what I found that more than the success, the failure is coming from that path and approach. I might be wrong. I might not be the same opinion which you have. Everybody has their own opinion. This is what I am putting is my opinion, that where people go wrong with the learning path and approach. First thing, you go for SAP standard courses, and they give you the 4 big books, and now the number of books is increasing. Now I think it's a 5 big books, and you think that, okay, I need to read all of these books, I need to get all of this knowledge, then I will become a consultant. Now the problem is this books is having a very good content, very detailed content, a lot of things there, a lot of good knowledge is there. But the problem is only hardly 12 to 15% of the people are able to read all of the books. Many people are not able to ended up into a jobs because they get deep into the books, and even they are not able to finish the one book, and they think कि अभी अगर मेरी ये 4 books complete नहीं हुई, I would not be a consultant. I would not be a consultant, right? Believe me, when I did my PP certification, that was the first certification I did it. When I become a consultant, I started my career as a SAP PP consultant. The 40% of the things which was trained onto the SAP books which I was given was related to APO, Advanced Planning and Optimization. And when you become a PP consultant, you never worked onto the APO. APO requires some specialized training. They even don't take you for the APO interviews. So the 40% of the things I found that was related to the APO. There's a 20 to 30% of the content was there, which was a content, but businesses are not using it. Okay, so a lot of that knowledge, completing it, getting into it, if you are able to do it, very good. But the problem, I say that, sir, I started the book, first book, I completed 70%, then something happened in family, then something happened in my job, I left it, then I started it again, and then again in between I left it. So far in last 1.5 years, I was able to complete almost 2 books. Rest has completed. I will complete, then I will become a consultant. Don't follow that approach. If you are a good reader, okay, if you can spend times onto the reading, go for that approach. Okay, it can be good for you. But I found it that 85% of the people, it's creating a problem. They start the books and they think that agar ye books nahi padhi, if we have not gone through these books, I'm not a consultant. But that is not the case. These books has a lot of content, and not each and every content is required to start your career journey. Okay, so don't get stuck with the books. People get stuck with the certification. Now, I need to, my agenda is, I would be learning, I would be completing my books, I would be clearing the certification, then I would apply for the jobs. A lot of people follow this approach. I also followed that approach, which took me 3 years. I hate that approach. I don't suggest anyone to follow this approach. You can follow, you can get success, but the chances are less. Why? Because it takes longer time. It takes longer time. What approach I would be giving you, it would be different than that. That certification and books will be coming at the last. First, you would be going through the live sessions, the recording videos, doing a lot of things onto the system, doing a lot of system hands-on, preparing a lot of assignments, sharing a lot of assignments into the LinkedIn, creating your LinkedIn network, starting your job hunt, adding one more module into it, and then the certification will come. Then the certification will come. Now, what happened? You need to understand certification, add the weightage to your profile. Definitely, I recommend everyone. But when you need to do the certification is important, you need to understand. It's not like that after certification, you will start your job hunt. Your job hunt will start much more before the certification. So certification add the value. But what are the other things which add the values? Whether one certification or two modules, which one is having a more value? One certification or knowledge in two modules? Answers on the chat window. Put one certification or 2M. What do you think which add more value? 1C or 2M? Quickly over the chat. Two modules, okay? Now the second question, most of the people said two modules, right? One certification, two modules, or experience. Which one is the most weightage in your CV, SAP experience? Put EXP if you feel that experience is the most important. Experience, right? So the path would be like that, that first you would be adding experience, okay? Adding a multiple modules, then you would be going for certification. And when you're doing for certification, I would be asking, browse over the books. And not that first read all the books. We will be giving you some certification questions, which is not a dumb. I don't suggest people to go for dumb. You need to go for the question, try to think the answer for it. And if you are not able to find the answer, you would be jumping into a book, searching the book for that particular topic, giving a quick read of it, and getting an answer and doing the certification. A lot of people, if you follow the approach without certification also, they would be able to get a job. Certification is important. I recommend it. But it is not like your job hunt is starting after the certification. Your job hunt would start much beyond the certification, much before the certification. And many people would get into the job and then they will do the certification. That also can be a part. Another problem is a lot of content over the internet. I always tell to my team, boss, we are not the business of knowledge. SastraGeek is not a business of knowledge. SastraGeek is in the business of structured knowledge. SAP सीखना है, SAP help में जाओ. Everything is there. Go to YouTube channel. Everything is there. Go to Udemy. In 500 rupees, you can get a lot of content there, right? So getting a content nowadays, when I did the learning 20 years ago, even the content was a problem. YouTube, SAP PP was not that much available. Google was not having that content. SAP help also was not available online. We need to download some SAP help file into our system and we need to go through the SAP help, right? Now everything is available. You can learn SAP if you get a decent server on your own free of cost. But how many people would be able to do it? Less than 1%. Why? Because it's not structured. When you jump into that ocean, there are so many things which you divert from one place to another. And I feel that people started learning MM. And then when they are asking the questions, sir, bomb me, this is, I'm not getting that. They got diverted into the finance side. They got diverted into the PP side. They are not focused because the structure is not there. It's the ocean of the knowledge and that knowledge is available free. But there are so many things. You started with one YouTube video and you ended up with another video. You started Google searching onto the one particular part and you ended it something. This analysis is important. I recommend you to do it. Okay. But there should be a limit to it. A lot of analysis will make you paralysis. Analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis is another problem. People do a lot of analysis that make them paralyzed and they ended up doing nothing. That's what happened with a lot of content which is available in the market. The content which we use it, I also get knowledge from somewhere, right? Nobody comes and inject directly in my mind, which I explain to you. I also go through that content. I understand what content is important, what is required, make it in more structured form, introducing the SAP screen with it, and then deliver it to you, right? So that is a structured content which we give it. Structured approach is very important. Okay, so the structured approach which I suggest, go through the videos, go through the live sessions, make sure do understand those videos, concepts, do all of the things into the system. We'll be working from scratch of creating the enterprise structure, company code, copying a company code and putting your structure into the place, and then doing all the configurations, master data, end-to-end cycles, everything you will be doing it. So what I found that rather than you following the content, you would be the content creators. Okay. A lot of people you will see from LinkedIn platform, you see a lot of posts from the SastraGeek students come, they create a lot of content, right? You read a chapter from a book. Okay. And then other thing is that I asked that, okay, write a summary, a decent summary of that chapter on your own words. When you create a chapter on yourself, then the confidence level would be the next part. I don't feel confidence, right? You will feel confidence when you will go through the video, you have gone through the content, you have done the things into the system, and you created your own Word document. You created your own PPT by putting a screenshot and the post. Once you have done that, anyone will wake you up from the night and ask you, you will be able to answer the questions with the confidence, because that you have done something on your own. You have created some content on your own. When you do it, it goes into the blood veins. That gives you the confidence. Then you will be able to speak a bookish knowledge, just reading it, and then you will struggle in the interviews. But when you go through that process path, you would be getting that knowledge which you would be able to speak with the confidence. Okay, so make sure you follow the right path and approach. We'll be discussing more when you take the bundle, what path and approach you need to follow. We'll be talking about more into that. Okay, so video learnings, then working system hands-on, creating, completing your assignments, sharing the assignment on LinkedIn is also important, because I want you to grow your LinkedIn network, which will be helping you to get a job. Sharing your content over the LinkedIn, and then after that has been completed, then I would be jumping into you should also get into our live experience, which we give it through the internships. I will talk about later. Fourth problem. Sarji, I'm not able to clear the interviews. I'm getting the interview calls, but I'm not able to clear the interviews. You're not able to clear the interviews because of two things. If you will follow that right path and approach, which we are saying, that you would be able to, nobody is able to answer the 100% of the interview questions. Okay, it's not that you prepare for the 100% answering of the interview question. 70 to 80%, if you are able to answer it, they will get you. They even don't expect that everybody would be knowing everything. Okay, but if you show your interest, if you show the basics, you know it, then you would be good enough. So make sure when you're following this path and approach, which we are giving it to you, work onto the business process. Anything which I will start explain, I would be starting explaining first the business process. Ki bhaiya, business process kya? What is the business process? Okay, because SAP is made to support the business processes. SAP is made to support the business processes. So first, you know the business process, right? In your free time also, if you get some time, if you're going for procure to pay, or sales and distribution, just try to Google and find it out what are the different business processes are used on these things. We make sure that anything we start first with the business process, then take you to the end-to-end cycle, then take you to the master data, and then take you to the configuration of it. Okay, with that, also do a lot of system hands-on, do a lot of system hands-on. If you have done the things with system, if you have watched me doing it, you would be getting some knowledge which you will be forgetting it in 3 months. If you have done yourself something, you would be getting a knowledge which you will be able to remember for at least 12 months to 24 months. But if you have watched me doing it, you repeated doing in the system, and you taken the screenshot, you created your own document, you will be remembering that part for the years, right? And even if you want to go for the interview, it's not like you need to read it. If you open your document which you have created and just scroll it, within 5 to 10 seconds, everything will get refreshed in your mind. Because when you creating the content, then everything started getting printed in your mind. Sometimes it goes into the backward, but as soon as you open the document, it quickly jumped into the front of you, right? So that is a part you need to work on. If you will go that part, the confidence will come, and you would be able to answer that. You would be also be able to clear the interviews. Now, interviews also, they would be asking multiple things. Okay, they would be asking something which is to the subject. Then they would be asking something which is support projects, implementation project. To do that work, I have given you one more training. Okay, in the bundle, we understand what is the problem, right? So I have given one training, which is, where is my SAP Job and Mastery? Job and Mastery. This Job and Mastery is a complimentary training given to you in a bundle, 60 to 70 hours of training, very close to my heart. And this is the game changer training. No another institute, including SAP, has that training. Okay. And this training worth more than ₹1,00,000, believe me. This is the training which is creating a difference. The people who are getting a jobs is because of this Job and Mastery training. I understood that what are the key gaps, that what other questions you need to answer in the interviews, right? That is coming from the Job and Mastery. So that is a complimentary training right now into the self-paced. When you're going into our live sessions, we'll be guiding you that when you need to jump into the Job and Mastery and also start the Job and Mastery. I want you to skill. I want you to get a job. That's why I have put it as a complimentary training. The 60 to 70 hours of content is there, very valuable content, and is complimentary. Okay. So this, don't take it on a lighter because it has been given free to you. I have given free to you because I want my students to start doing the job. That's why we have given as a complimentary in the package. Okay. So this would be very important training. I will be talking more when I go into the another problems. The problem number 5, availability in the job market. Your availability in the job market. Okay. It's also important that you get available in the job market. Now, it's not always the game of the knowledge. People think that SAP is a game of the knowledge. You have the knowledge, you get the job. But no, you're wrong. This is a game of the demand versus supply. Okay, demand versus supply. You might be knowing that, that 30 years ago, 40 or 35 years ago, if somebody is able to explain what SAP is, okay, they know what SAP is and they are able to explain what exactly the SAP, they get a job as SAP consultants, right? They get a job as SAP consultants because that time the demand was there, the market was not having that much of supply. Okay, the people who is having this kind of knowledge would be getting it in. I found it that suddenly my 6 to 7 students of PP who was getting trained with me got job in TCS. Why they got in TCS? I told them that once the 50% is done, once they have done up to master data, then they need to jump into the SAP Job and Mastery and go through the videos of CV preparation, prepare your CV and upload into the market. I want you to be available in the market as soon as possible. Just to let you know, when I started thinking 20 years ago that I want to become SAP consultant, I made myself available. I just went through that what is SAP, what kind of skills are there, what is there in PP. I put all this content in my CV, uploaded my CV. Just to check if market mein jobs hai bhi ya nahi. Then I started getting emails, some phone calls also. That motivated me ki, haan yaar, in this sector the job is there. So I now really need to work on it because I'm getting some calls. Your availability in the job market is available. Believe me, in my more than 2000 one-to-one consulting calls, I met so many people working for 3 years, 6 months, 2 years. And I said that, have you applied for the jobs? Have you updated your CV? Have you applied into the portals? They said, no, sir, abhi to nahi kiya hai. Right? So what happens suddenly when the demand comes, okay, whoever the resources are available in the market, okay, if the demand is very strong, they would be consumed. Now, when I completed my SAP PP training, the recession came, I was not getting it. Then I added some experience into my profile. And then as soon as the recession got over, suddenly, boom, 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 interview calls. Interview calls, my CV was there, experience was shown, and boom, 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 interview, HP, Accenture, IBM, 3 back-to-back interviews, I got it. Okay. The worst interview I was given for Accenture. It was an interview, I remember, of 35 minutes. Out of 35 minutes, around 15 to 20 minutes, he need to hold the call because he got some urgent call or a ticket or somebody is calling. The interview need to answer that. So my total interview time was 15 to 20 minutes. Out of that also, I was able to answer 50% of the questions. Only 50% of the questions I was able to answer it. Still, I got selected. That interview, after that, I said that, okay, isme kuch nahi hone wala. I'm not going to get selected because it was a very bad interview compared to the HP and IBM interviews which I have given. Still, I got selected. Then when I got selected and when I joined the Accenture Gurgaon office, then I came to know so many people are selected and they have given so much of hot skill, so much of joining bonuses to make sure that people are joining. And then we are onto the bench. We don't have any projects. So I said, what is happening? They were forcing me quickly want to take the resources. Then I came to know that, okay, they have some pipelines of the project. And to take the pipeline projects, they need to showcase that number of consultants they require it. So they need to showcase that number of pipeline consultants are available. Then only they would be getting a projects. So they have expected demand. Based on the expected demand, they want to hire. Not only me, they have hired so many, more than 200, not 200, around 150 SAP consultant they hired in the NCR region because of the expected demand. So suddenly after the session, a quick demand came and I was available. My CV was available. Even my interview was not well. Even I was not answering all the questions. I got selected. So you need to understand it's a game versus demand versus supply. There would be a lot of requirement where people need to take someone to work as a master data, as a consultant, but only into the master data handling part, which would be a lot in MM and in PP kind of modules. And your module is enriched with a lot of master data things available in the market. Although you are not fully trained into the configuration and all other things, there can be chances the demand is there and you can be get into it. That's what happened when TCS got some government project. They were requiring so many 30 to 40 plus SAP PP consultant they were requiring. My students was ready with their profiles, and then tuck. Everybody profile got selected. Everybody went for interviews, and they need people quickly to put resources into their projects, and they all got selected. Right? So always remember, boss, your availability in the market is important. Even I will say कि भैया आज से मैंने सोचना स्टार्ट किया. From today I am thinking I want to become SAP consultant. Put the search that what the job descriptions are there into the market. Put it in your CV and upload your CV. Upload your CV. Let the interview calls come. That will motivate you to learn. Right? Let the emails come to you. That will motivate you to learn. Okay. Make sure you are available in the market, whether you are fully trained or not, but availability in the market is important. Keep your CV updated and make a good CV. Okay. Now, the other problem people face कि भैया, I am not getting the interview calls. I am not getting the enough interview calls. Interview calls ही नहीं आ रहे हैं. मैंने CV update कर दिया, interview calls are not coming. That's another problem I found it. The people who come for one-to-one consulting, they said, sir, I got trained. I also updated my CV, but interview calls are not coming. And when I saw their CV, I was sure with that CV, you cannot get an interview call. To get an interview calls, a good CV preparation is very important because you have a very good knowledge. Okay. But you would not be front and saying, ki, Bhaiya, I have good knowledge. Your CV would be in the front. And nowadays, CVs is also going through the auto scan. Nobody is seeing your CV. We have machine learning algorithms, AI tools, which go through the CV. They match the keywords between the job description and your CV. If it is matching, your CV has been selected. Otherwise, it's not selected. Okay, otherwise it's not selected. So making a good CV is very, very important. That is the reason you're not getting the interview calls, because your CV is not properly shaped. Then I understood it. And then I went through almost 10 to 15 trainings, different places on the Google, on the Udemy, to understand how the CV need to be built. Then I put it all the things together, and then I did a summarize, and I created a videos for you that how you need to build your CV. So our job and mastery program, let me switch to the job and mastery program. Our job and mastery program, here it is. If you go to the curriculum part, after the overview, first thing, it has a big section of the CV building. Okay. It has a big section of the CV building. Here, it's a very detailed videos, almost 4 hours of content is there, where I have explained how you need to build your CV. All the CV templates, CV references has been given in it, which you can use it to build your CV, to build a good CV. And we recommend that you would be building your CV as per these recommendations. And then you will submit to us. We will be submitting to the different companies, and you yourself would be putting into the LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri, or your country specific portals. that's where you would be putting them in, right? That's where you would be putting them in. So building a CV is important. If you're not getting a interview calls, it means CV is the problem. So let's move it to the next part. So I need to explain you a few more reasons which will cause the failure. Not selecting the right SAP module. Okay. So that's the reason that I put it one of the reason I have put it the one-to-one consulting, because a lot of people has a questions related to that boss, which modules I need to get selected. I need to want to start, because people get information, give here this module is booming, or their cousins, relatives are working on some specific module, and they ask them to learn the same thing, or they went into an institute who only trains the SAP MM module, and that institute is pushing everyone to select the SAP MM module, that there are the opportunities, blah 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 things are there. But I feel that you need to make sure that when you select your module, you select the right module. Okay, the right modules need to be selected, right? Always select your module. Okay, don't go for the market opportunities. Two things are very important when you select your module, where people make the mistake. One thing is that your operational experience. If you have operational experience, I've seen so many people, they are working into the manufacturing, having a manufacturing experience, and rather than selecting PP module, they are going for MM. They are working as a production engineers, production operators, production in charge, production managers, having a very good manufacturing experience onto the production processes, but they are selecting a MM module. Why MM module? So the opportunities are good. People tell that MM has more jobs. People tell that MM is the module, the institute guide us that this would be having more opportunities, more jobs. You go for MM. Every module has opportunity. You need to understand it. In every module, people are working. In every module, you will find that they are the 20% of the people. Okay, they are the 20% of the people who are earning very high, very good salaries they are earning. Every module it has. So whenever you are selecting a module, make sure, because in in MM, the number of jobs are more. That is for sure. But if you compare MM and PP has less number of jobs, but the people opting for PP is also less, right? I'm guiding only people who are having a manufacturing background to go for PP. If somebody comes to me, sir, I want to become a functional consultant, and I did my BCA, I don't have any operation experience, or operation experience which I am having, it was not a manufacturing industry, it was a trading company. So those people, I suggest them to go for either MM or ST, not the PP module. If somebody is coming from the finance background, okay, then we suggest them to go for the finance FICO. So the right module selection is important. Make sure you select the right module, and module selection with the two-way based on your experience, because your experience would be ending it up to do a very good consulting. So I always tell that, that in the first project which I worked, the first project was an implementation project which I worked. I was 6 months on a bench in Accenture. Then I got a project in Africa. Went to on-site. I had a very good earning there. And I did an implementation project. That's the world's largest project for a big bang approach. In that project, first they took me as a master data consultant. Within 2 months, they saw my capabilities, and they put me from the master data track to as a SAP PP functional consultant track. They put me. Then I started putting as a functional consultant, and then my lead need to move out. Okay. And then within 4 months, they make me as a SAP PP lead, where I was handling 4 countries together as a PP consultant. Not only the PP, under me it was PP, QM, and the WM part was also there. So the 3 modules lead, I was able to handle it in my first project itself. How I was able to do it? It's not I don't give I give the weightage to my SAP learnings which I have done. I learned a lot in the 3 years of my preparation phase, but I give a lot of weightage to what I learned as a business when I was working as a production engineer in Robert Bosch. I give a lot of weightage to that. That learning of the business processes which I got it, I was able to understand the production manufacturing processes in a deep knowledge, because I have worked as a production engineer. That knowledge helped me a lot to do the consulting. That's why everybody liked me. Even I was not having that much of SAP experience, but my business experience, my production experience was that high that I was able to understand what they are saying. I was able to understand what problem they have. And I also visited all of their manufacturing plant, multiple people I spoke to understand the business processes. And my business processes knowledge made me from a master data consultant to a lead of 4 countries in 4 months. It was not SAP. It was my business processes knowledge. It was a work which I did before joining as SAP consultant in the production manufacturing, the work I have done. That work helped me a lot, right? So your existing operation experience would be very helpful in the consulting. Make sure when you select the module, select around it. Select around it. Second thing is that if you don't have any experience, select the module based on your interest. If you are interested in coding, boss, go for ABAP. If the coding is, you are passionate about the coding. If you hate coding, although you are into the coming from the computer science or IT background, you come for the functional consultant courses. Okay, if you work technical part more, but you don't want the business handling, then you can go for the basis module, SAP basis module, right? So what is your interest? I am into the finance, but I'm so much interested into the supply chain. Supply chain is my passion. I want to grow my career in supply chain every day, in night out. I read the blogs about supply chain, and this is what is my passion. I want to go, my interest to go to the supply chain side. Then you select a module into the supply chain. You select SDMM or PP module. Okay, I'm very interested into the finance. I come from the finance background, accounting background. Accounting and the finance is what interests me more. You go for SAP FICO module. So based on your operation experience, based on interest, those two things should select your module, not the opportunities. So opportunities, believe me, is there in every module. Every module has opportunities. Some has more opportunities. Every module have a people who get trained. Even FICO is having the largest number of opportunities. Okay, because FICO is one of the module which is largely used. But there are people I have seen, they got trained in SAP FICO, but they never got the job. Every module has a success stories. Every module has a failure. Okay, make sure you don't select your module based on the number of opportunities. You select your module based on your operational experience and the interest. Thirdly, I talked about the basic core modules. Whenever it comes to the functional consultant, there are the 4 core modules: sales and distributions, materials management or sourcing and procurement, finance and controlling, and production planning. Apart from that, there are a lot of modules. PM is there, plant maintenance is there, quality management is there. There are some high-level modules. EWM is there, TM is there. A lot of people came to us and they said that, okay, sir, I want to start my career. I want to do EWM. I want to do TM. And they straight away start their journey with SAP EWM, TM. Those are little complex modules. In those modules, when you go for jobs, the number of years of total experience required is also high. Your passion is there, you can learn them, but you know that whenever we build a building, the नींव बहुत मजबूत होनी चाहिए. The core should be very strong. Your core should be very strong. So these 4 modules are the core modules. You learn TM, you learn EWM, you learn niche modules, whatever you want to learn it, but make sure you start with the strong core. So one of these core modules, when you will select it, that will become your core module. That will give you the number of opportunities. These modules are widely used, so the number of projects are more, so number of opportunities would be more. Then on top of it, if you add it a EWM, TM, another thing, if you will add it, that will give you the quality of the jobs. That will give you the more monetary benefits in the job. Okay, so you can go for the multiple modules, but selecting your right first module is very important. That was a question I think Harvinder was asking. Okay. Most of the job demands experience. कि भैया सर जहाँ भी जाते हैं वो कहते हैं कि SAP experience होना चाहिए. You should be, all the job has 1 end-to-end experience, 2 end-to-end implementation experience. Everybody is looking for experienced consultant. तो भैया ट्रेनिंग करके freshers कहाँ जाएंगे? Where the freshers will go? We understand that need. Okay. And I also feel that whenever I take the interviews, I know that why, just think about it. Why SAP require experienced consultant? you need to think about it and you need to understand that you are not doing your XYZ job. Okay, you are doing a very serious job. When you're handling a ERP system like SAP system of a company, that company is a multinational company which will be handling their business across the globe, and all of their business depends on their core ERP product, which is SAP. So if something happens to SAP, around the globe, their business can be stopped. And I have seen that is happening. I have seen that business is getting trouble because issues have been gone into the SAP, and then the whole business got disturbed. One of the very Fortune 500 companies, their South America business got impacted because one of the wrong development went into the SAP in their invoices, and customers was charged wrongly. And they have lost a lot of revenue because of that. And then the implementation partner, they raised the issue with the implementation partner. They were about to go into the court against the implementation partner who did the changes. And then the implementation partner need to do out of the court settlement. And the implementation partner covered the losses, implementation partner like IBM, Accenture, Wipro, PwC. They covered the losses which happens to that company because of the wrong development went into the production system. You need to understand the job you're doing is a serious job. That's why they want an experienced consultant who has a little bit experience, who know what they are doing, what can be the cross impact to it. SAP is very connected modules. It's very complex and connected. So if you're putting one string, 10 another strings can be, 10 another business processes or string can be touched. So you need to know what are the changes you are doing, what are the things you are doing, whether it's right or wrong, what can be the business impact to it. That's why the experienced consultants are required. Okay, that's why basically they want, every company wants that their ERP products need to be handled by the experienced by people so that their business does not get impact. तो अभी फ्रेशर्स का क्या होगा? मैं तो फ्रेशर हूं सर, मैं तो ये ट्रेनिंग ले रहा हूं. So how will I get a job if the 80% of the jobs has been offered to the experienced consultant? So I understand. I told you I understand that, and I was showing you the SAP Job and Mastery, right? Let's go back to the SAP Job and Mastery. So I understand that requirement, and around 4 years ago, we started this SAP Job and Mastery. Now, this SAP Job and Mastery, the course name is Job and Mastery and Implementation and Support Project Exposure. So what I did in this, I did put it all of the things which I found that people struggle in the job. They got training into the core module, but when they go for the job, they struggle. Implementation experience chahiye, support experience people are asking for, good CVs is required. So in this one, what I have done after explaining the CV part, I went into a support project which I have handled, and then we went into the detail of the support project and have explained if you are working as a support consultant, what work exactly you would be doing. What work exactly you would be doing with. I have given the full exposure to it. Then I went into the detail, okay, and then I went into the one of the project which I have implemented, and that real-time project from as a study to covering all the phases, discovery phase, realization phase, build phase. What are the things we need to do? What are the business blueprint we need to prepare? Functional specification we need to prepare. As a consultant, what we have done in that project, that full thing has been explained in this one. In explore phase, business blueprint phase, what we have done, functional specification, how we have prepared it, okay, how we have handled the realize phase, testing phase, what are the things we have done. It's a very big course. And then deploy phase, what are the things we have done, how to prepare for the interview preparation, to do the interview preparation, what kind of things we have done. All the things, post go live, what are the things we need to do it. Everything I have explained what kind of challenges, implementation project challenges, which you need to explain in your interviews, that I have mentioned it here. A lot of things has been mentioned in the bonus. Okay. So this, a big content has been given, which you can consume on your own, parallel to the training. And in that way, you would be getting to know that if I'm doing end-to-end implementation, what kind of thing as a consultant I need to do. And all of these things slowly, when you're learning, will go into your CV that I have worked into a business blueprints I have created. I have created the functional specifications. I have created the test documents. I have done the integration test. I was a part of the UAT. What work you have done. that, right? All of the things you would be adding it into it. And then in initial path, I have explained you that how you would be manipulating your existing experience and showing experience. Okay, we need to manipulate the existing experience and then showing some SAP experience. Now, all of these things, I also did it. So when I was working in production as an engineer, with my SAP knowledge, they make me a process expert. That is kind of a key user in SAP. Then I converted that experience as an in-house consultant. And to do that, it's not like that I mentioned in CV. I went into my project. I went into all of the company documents, what they have done during the implementation, everything. Then I took another training from another institute. I told them कि भैया मुझे सिर्फ इतना बताओ कि when I'm working as a consultant in implementation, what kind of things I do. So I took a separate training from another institute who told me only about this working as a consultant, what things you need to do it. If you're working in a support project, what you need to do it. If you're working into the implementation, what you need to do it. And they charged me at that time 30,000 rupees to, 20 years ago, which is almost equivalent to 1.25 lakh now. And they told me just 25% of the part which I am telling it here. So with that much of time spending, that much of money spending, I was able to know. I downloaded some books of a SAP methodology, how a SAP methodology work, how the implementation happened, and that all experience I put it in my CV. That's where when as soon as the recession is over, all the big companies was giving me the interview calls, right? So I did a lot of efforts, and I know that efforts which I put to modify my CV and inject some experience into it. And it's not like that I'm just injecting, because that analysis of 1 to 1.5 year, I also get a lot of knowledge. I was actually knowing a lot of things. What happened in the implementation, what kind of things that can happen. That injection, when I did it into my CV, I was able to get the interview calls. And I was able to defend those questions because I have done so much of analysis. So that thing we understand you require. That's why I have put it this job and mastery and put it as a complementary that we started 4 years ago. Then in last 3 years ago, people come say that, so this is good, sir. This is the self-paced path. We actually want to experience it. We want to experience the implementation project. That was another ask which came up. And I also got motivated when people did this, and then they went into the interview. They said that this is the course which has helped them a lot to answer a lot of interview questions, and they were able to mention a lot of things in their CV. And because of that, the number of interview calls get increased like anything. So that motivated me, and we started our internship programs. So what is internship program? Internship program is making you sit as a consultant with the other consultant, and I would be giving you a simulation project. That this is a company. Right now we are doing a project with US Healthcare Limited. I have given the full business scenarios, and multiple different consultants are working. SDMM, PP, FICO consultants are working to do the end-to-end configuration and to build the business blueprint document, process flow documents, functional specifications, doing the testings, to making sure the test documents has been built. All of the things they are doing it in the system together as a team. That is the internship program. The internship program also, we set it up like this, that you would be able to do with your existing job. You would be able to do the internship program. Okay, and we have done now the multiple internship programs we have done. And when you actually do it with the team, you understand that how the work need to happen in a team, what is your responsibility, what other people need to do it, how to actually build those documents. You build a business blueprint with your own hand, you create a test script, test document, you create a functional specification with your own hand. That gives you confidence कि okay भैया, this is functional specification. Now I can speak about a little bit on the functional specification. That couple of functional specification I have worked on. People who have zero experience, they don't have any industry experience also, the internship programs help them a lot to give them the experience. Okay. Now this internship program is not part of the bundle. This internship program is not part of the bundle because, and this internship program, neither we pay you anything, because this is not an actual project which is happening somewhere from where I'm getting a revenue. This is, I put effort, my team put effort, we put you together. We do every Thursday we do a call. These 2 weeks not happening. I got stuck in some project meetings. Every Thursday evening, we do the calls, and I guide you that this is the project you have, this is the things, and you need to deliver all the assignments accordingly. And I review your assignments. Okay, so that is the implementation project. We do it, which is through the internship program. Neither we pay for it nor we charge for it, but we have a certain criteria you should meet to part of these internship programs, which will be giving you actually end-to-end experience of a project. First thing, you should be enrolled with the two bundles, the mastery and excellence. Two bundles you need to enroll so that you will be able to participate into the internship program. Okay. Second thing, you should be committed that once you involve it, you would be able to give the time and you would be able to completing the assignment. Why we have put it this criteria? Because of two things. Whenever we go for internship, we got hundreds of people. And I have a limited seat. I cannot run a project with 100 of people. I just need 20 to 30 people to run a project, right? So I need to limit the number of people, and I also want to take only the serious people. Make sure that 1,000 of applications we got for the internship, if I will bring everyone, 80% of the people are not interested. They want to apply for it. Just they want to be part of it. But whenever it comes for the deliverable, they don't deliver it. So we only want to take the serious candidates, very serious candidates. And why you need to enroll for the mastery and excellence both? Because you need to understand internship is not a training. Internship, we consider that you are a trained consultant, maybe not experienced consultant, but you are already trained. So whatever the assignment we'll be giving it to you, from your training, you will be able to complete it. And if you have not know about that, you already have a mastery and excellence bundles with you. All the videos are there with you. You can go through the videos, then complete that topic, and you will be able to complete the assignment. So let's say I have given you, okay, you need to set up the purchase order approvals or the flexible Fiori workflow. So flexible Fiori workflow तो मुझे आता ही नहीं है, कहाँ से करूँ मैं? You are into the project. We don't see those answers कि मुझे आता ही नहीं, right? That's why we have put it the constraint. You have all the content from mastery and excellence. You go through that content, you learn, and you deliver it. If you don't find it, you go to the Google, do your research, and deliver it. In project, we cannot say that when we are a particular module consultant and that module specific thing came, you cannot say ki I don't know that. Okay, even if you don't know that, you need to learn it and quickly deliver it. That's why we want to make sure that you have all the content, mastery and excellence. And when you're doing the internship, you should be able to go through that content if required. Minimum, we consider that 70% of your mastery course should be completed before you take a part of the internship program. Okay, so that was a question which I think Harvinder was asking, right? Ki, sir, everybody is asking for experience. So experience kahan se aayega? So experience will come from the job and mastery. Experience will come from the internship program, which you will be doing with us. Okay, and that is very much required. I want you to put that things into your CV, because most of the CV, if you don't put end-to-end implementation, means 50 to 60% of the interview calls you are outside of it. They are not calling you. Maybe there can be a lot of places where they would require end-to-end implementation, and you will showcase, they will ask the question, but you will be ending up working only on a support project, right? So when they take the resources, they know that if the end-to-end implementation knowledge it has, it can work on support, it can work on implementation also. Wherever we have a requirement, we can put. Okay, so they mention in their CV, end-to-end implementation is required, but you will be ending up working as a support consultant. That can also be there. So it's important you mention in your CV. Knowledge on single module, I have already spoke about it, right? That you will require a multiple modules knowledge is having a weightage. And specifically when you will be going with the 5, 7 or 8 or 10 years of operation experience, you are higher side into the age and you want to jump into SAP, multiple modules helps you to get a job. Okay, so you need to learn your core modules. After the core modules, you should go ahead for learning your advanced module like EWM, TM, another modules you can put your hand in, so that the multi-skilling, multitasking can be shown, and then the getting into the interviews and getting selected would be more easy. That you know one primary module, you know another secondary. If you know the PP, we suggest you to go for QM also. PP-QM combination works very well. Okay, if you learn MM, we suggest you to go for EWM. If you go for SD, we suggest you to go for TM. So these are the niche modules. With the combination of these two modules, getting a job would be easy in the market. The last thing is we delay. We get all the knowledge, all the things, but we delay into taking a decision. We delay a lot of things. We delay. I know a lot of people when I was doing the 4 years or 5 years ago when I started the upskilling training, upgrading people to SAP S4HANA. Many of the people approach me, and after 2 years also they are just approaching. They are thinking, "How I need to upgrade to S4HANA." So you just delay the things, right? And when you delay the things, when you not take the action, that is also one of the cause of a lot of stress. If you know something need to be done, do it, right? Get it done. Don't delay it. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Don't delay it. Okay, otherwise you would be in a condition of who moved my cheese. Right? I'm thinking to become SAP. I know a lot of people, okay, I'm now into the 20 years of experience, you know, that 10 years ago I thought about it, then something came, then again when it was 15, I started some training, I left it. Now again, I want to start it. People are just thinking, not taking action. If you are the one who are just thinking and you are the one who is not going to take the action, there is no benefit of attending these sessions. Taking actions are important. Okay, if you really want to learn it, don't delay it. You learn from us or you learn from anywhere else, don't delay it. Our learnings which we have put it is in a structured content, the job and mastery and all things we have put it with a lot of analysis of 7 years at what actually the market required, where students face the problem. Considering everything, we have put it the curriculum, and we know that this can be a longer journey for you, right? That's why we don't give access by the other, like another student access for a batch. We trained you a batch, okay, tata, bye bye. We don't do that. We are giving you access to the platform for 1 year, which means that when you are enrolling now, and we know that your journey can take longer, so you would be associated on our platform for 1 year. And with that 1 year, whatever the multiple live session we are doing, every 3 or 4 months we start this program again, and all of these programs you would be able to join live again and again in the given duration of 1 year. Okay, the server access would be only given for the 3 months complimentary server access, but 80% of the students keep on enrolling keep on subscribing and getting more server access, because practicing on the server is important. We have put it economical budget, okay, where basically we can afford you to give a 3 months of complimentary server access. Our trainings are, I would say, 100 times more cheaper than the SAP trainings, because 10 times less we are charging and 10 times more we are delivering it. Okay, go to any SAP institute and take and compare to the bundle. Not only any SAP, any institute you go and take and compare our bundle, you will not get the same kind of things, similar kind of things, which we have put it together. Because I have put it together by thinking of that you need something which make you into a job. It's not from the monetary benefit. Whatever the charges which you have put it for the courses, it hardly cover our cost. Okay, it's not a profit-making business for us as of now. It hardly cover our charges. We have a lot of people sitting, a lot of tools we are using. The Zoom itself, the webinar, they are charging somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 per month, right? And we use Teachable. We'll be giving you a WhatsApp messages. We'll be giving you a phone call ki bhaiya Parminder start kar raha hai session. Please join it. Don't miss the session. Okay, we want you to attend the session. The live session is happening. You enroll it for the learning. Please use your money. Come to the session. Those call of automated calls has been set up. Workflow has been set up. So that causes a lot of cost. So we try to just cover that cost. That's the minimum prices we have put it. Okay, with this information, I'm ending our today's session. Thank you everyone for joining the today's session, and have a very great weekend ahead. We'll catch you in the tomorrow session, and we'll go with the end-to-end SAP, that how SAP is how SAP end-to-end processes are there. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye-bye for now.